Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as it's December 3rd, 2020, and we're here to talk about everything that went down last night on NXT. Now, last night's NXT was the go-home show for this Sunday's NXT TakeOver War Games event, and, you know, NXT was a pretty good show. I wouldn't say it was a great go-home show or anything, but I thought the show itself was all right. I mean, if you compare it to what was on the other channel, it got destroyed. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about NXT from last night on the USA Network. So with that, the show began with a somber moment. The roster and others like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and whatnot were on the ramp to, I guess you say, honor Pat Patterson. They then played a tremendous, and I mean tremendous, video and just tributing Pat Patterson and his career. I think My Way by Frank Sinatra played, and I believe there may have been another song, but maybe I'm wrong, and it was just My Way, because My Way was freaking Pat's go-to karaoke song. I mean, Pat Patterson does My Way at karaoke, and that's it. Ain't nobody else gonna even come close to try and even, what's the word I'm looking for, compare. So, angles before the show on social media set up the opening match. Johnny Gargano was also at ringside as guest commentator. And we saw a video of El Legado del Fantasma attacking Kurt Stallion before the show in the parking lot. He was apparently supposed to team with Leon Ruff tonight, but instead, Damian Priest laid out Walking Wild in another video, and then Damian Priest was the replacement for Kurt Stallion, teaming with Leon Ruff. So really, it was NXT North American Champion Leon Ruff and Damian Priest against Santos Escobar, the Cruiserweight Champion, and Raul Mendoza. So Priest was running roughshod when this match started, just going crazy. He spotted someone in the crowd dressed in a Scream costume, though. Gargano remarked on commentary, and it was cool, a fan dressed up as the character. Priest was distracted by the Scream mask, and Escobar blindsided him with a tope. That sandwiched Priest into the chain link barricade. Though Priest was there to protect Ruff, Priest was ironically the one who got worked over more by the heels in this match, which is very weird. The heels had the heat on Priest through a commercial break. Priest fought back, but he was outnumbered. Ruff was down in the corner selling a knee strike from earlier in the match. Ruff slowly crawled back up on the apron, though he was still selling the strike from earlier. Meanwhile, the heel team targeted Priest's leg. Priest came back with the big flatliner on Mendoza and tagged in Ruff. Ruff was running wild after a hot tag, yet he was unaware of the blind tag, and Ruff was able to tag out. Priest backed in like a house of fire. That was kind of weird, though, because he was just like down and out and can barely move less than a minute before this, or right around a minute before this. Priest was going for his finish when Ruff made another blind tag. Priest delivered the Reckoning, and Ruff followed this up with a frog splash. Ruff then covered Mendoza to pick up the victory. So Damian Priest and the North American Champion Leon Ruff do pick up the victory on NXT. A little mini documentary hyped up War Games. This was really, really cool to see. Team Candice was backstage for a promo. Candice vowed that her team will win at War Games, and Raquel Gonzalez said that after tonight, they will also have the advantage. Gonzalez says that Blackheart will feel like she got ran over by a tank, which is symbolic because Shotzi's whole thing is she runs, well, not people over, but Robert Stone over with her tank before her tank got ran over. Next up, August Gray took on Cameron Grimes. Not much to this match. Grimes cut a promo after the match. Well, I guess I could say it. Cameron Grimes won really quickly with the cave-in. Gray got in a little bit of offense, but it was basically a showcase match for Cameron Grimes. After the match, he cut a promo on Dexter Lumis ahead of their strap match this Sunday. Grimes then took the leather strap and used it to demonstrate what he's going to do. He hooked the strap to his arm and then to the arm of Gray and whipped him with the strap. All the while, Grimes is talking trash about Lumis having no place to run in the strap match when he's the one that's been doing the running. As Grimes was yapping on, looking at the hard camera, Lumis had replaced Gray. Lumis was now attached by the strap, and he started talking Grimes. Grimes freaked out when he noticed this, when he noticed that Lumis was behind him. Lumis pummeled him, and he whipped him with the strap. Grimes ran away, fleeing the scene. But it's like, wait, ain't the strap supposed to prevent that? If he's got the strap on his arm, and Lumis has the strap on his arm, then what's the use of the strap if he can just run away? Like, can't he take the strap off on Sunday? What's going to happen? He gets disqualified if he takes the strap off? Makes no sense to me. So next up, Jake Atlas took on Tony Nese. Again, a match that was there. Nothing spectacular. Atlas pinned Nese after a cartwheel DDT. Thought the match itself was good, though, and Atlas dedicated the match to Pat Patterson. This match kind of felt like a filler match, and they said it was the biggest victory of Jake Atlas's entire career. I don't know that one. Pretty sure Jake Atlas has had some big victories. Hold on. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He's a former APW champion. Well, I mean, in WWE, it's... I'm thinking too hard. I'm thinking too hard. In WWE, it's his biggest victory. So, Atlas is cutting a promo after the match. And really nothing happened here other than he hoped that he can get another shot at the Cruiserweight Champion. Okay. You've already lost, what, 2-3 times to Escobar? What's another? So Pat McAfee and his crew come out. They call themselves the Kings of NXT. He's continuing to prove that he's probably one of the best talkers, not just on NXT, but in all of WWE. McAfee stated that, or he cut a promo building up each member of his team before War Games. Before running down Undisputed Era, though, McAfee at the beginning of his promo paid tribute to Pat Patterson. McAfee, I think, is just like, holy crap. Just the best. How would I explain this? I guess you can almost maybe if there's like some year-end awards, which we will be putting up soon for you guys to vote on, Rookie of the Year, Pat McAfee. So, Xia Li and Boa were in a skit, and they were, I guess, doing some sort of training. I honestly am more confused every single week by what these two are doing. Grizzly Young Veterans were supposed to wrestle Ever-Rise next. Imperium, though, attacked Ever-Rise before their match could even start. Imperium laid them out and stole the match. Basically said, we're taking this match and we're challenging the Grizzled Young Vets. And that's what happened. The match itself was really good, but I think it lacked a little something because it really just felt random, like a lot of the matches on tonight's show. I mean, also, it was two heel teams that want to face off against each other, but I don't know. Both teams went back and forth, leading to Eichner doing a dive to the outside. Ever-Rise then ran down to ringside to attack both teams. The ref called for the bell and then threw out the match. Match just ended in a no contest. Like, I have no clue. Ever-Rise during a commercial break left the building. Parker and Martel hurried out of the building. And, well, they got in a waiting car. They then yelled, Ever-Rise rules, as their getaway car sped off. I have no clue who's driving it or what this is going to lead to. But, hey, they're doing something with Ever-Rise, so it's better than them doing nothing. So back in the ring, there was another section of the Thatcher's Catch Can Wrestling, or Thatcher's Thatch Can Wrestling. Timothy Thatcher was out there. He says, today's lesson is on distractions. Some people could have used this advice in earlier matches of the show, I feel. Thatcher turned out to address one of his students. He was shocked to see Tommaso Ciampa, though, standing next to him in the ring. Thatcher told Ciampa to already... Thatcher told Ciampa he already had a student who was also in the ring with him. Ciampa said that he was there to learn, and he was there to teach. Thatcher reiterated that he had no issues or problems with Tommaso Ciampa. Thatcher went to leave the ring, and Ciampa called him a disappointment. Thatcher turned around to confront Ciampa. Thatcher said he knew Ciampa was trying to goat him. He again said he wanted no trouble, and then Thatcher shot on Ciampa with a leg dive. Ciampa knocked him down with a forearm, though. Thatcher's student, in a sneak attack, jumped Ciampa. That allowed Thatcher to attack Ciampa as well, and Thatcher choked out Ciampa. He put him to sleep and left him laid out. So I guess that was his deal. Hey, you might be looking at me, but I'm distracting you from the other guy in the ring. Whatever. Thatcher basically just announced after this backstage that he's going to be facing Ciampa at the pay-per-view, well, at TakeOver. So then we got the announcement that Ariel Helwani will actually be part of the pre-show for NXT TakeOver War Games. He will be joined, He will be joined by Stu Bennett and Sam Roberts. That's a really good get by WWE. Ariel Helwani of ESPN on the pre-show panel. Holy crap. Now the big question is he going to be there live in person? If he is, even bigger get. Not just, we're going to Skype him in. That would be meh. So let me move on to our main event. It was Shotzi Blackheart against Raquel Gonzalez in a ladder match, with the winner earning their team the advantage at War Games. The ladders were used quickly in this match, like very quickly. Gonzalez was getting the better of Blackheart early until Blackheart, with a wrecking ball dropkick, sent the ladder smashing into Gonzalez. Blackheart leapt off the apron into a flying crossbody. Gonzalez caught her, though, and slammed her down on a ladder. Blackheart rode with a sleeper hold, but she was then posted. She moments later sidestepped a charge, and then Blackheart targeted her leg. We then saw a coffin drop off the barricade, and Blackheart crashed into Gonzalez. They fought through a commercial break, and when the show returned, they were having a tug-of-war with one of the ladders. Blackheart went for another crazy apron spot. It didn't really work out much, and Gonzalez threw Blackheart into the ring steps, and then Gonzalez picked up the ring steps. She then hit Blackheart with the steps. A lot of steps in that step. Gonzalez at one point climbed up a ladder, and Blackheart climbed the other side. They both took bumps off the ladder after taking turns pulling at each other and pulling each other off. The ladder soon tipped over. A tilt-a-whirl head scissors by Blackheart led to a running senton. Blackheart jumped off the top rope with a meteora to the outside. She and Gonzalez crashed to the floor, and both were down selling the spot, I guess you can call it. The heel team for War Games and came down to ringside. They had been watching the match from the scaffolds overlooking the ring. The babyfaces also ran down to, I guess you could say, even the odds to an extent. Indy Hartwell was still wearing her neck brace and set up a ladder in the middle of the ring. Blackheart rushed into the ring and hit Indy with a kick. Blackheart turned around into a lariat from Raquel Gonzalez. When Gonzalez went to climb the ladder, Io Shirai suddenly ran into the ring. Shirai jumped on the back of Gonzalez as she climbed up the ladder, and Shirai applied a sleeper. Shirai did a moonsault off the top of the ring, or off the top of the ladder out of the ring onto everybody. Blackheart was left alone in the ring. She climbed the ladder and grabbed the briefcase, winning her team the advantage and seemingly confirming that, well, Io Shirai, the NXT Women's Champion, is her fourth member. Now, here's the thing. After NXT went off the air, WWE posted a video with Shotzi Blackheart, and she was asked, Io Shirai, that's your fourth member. How do you feel about having the advantage? And she said, Io is our fourth member. But that doesn't mean we don't have a couple other surprises in store for Sunday. So I don't know what she was alluding to as far as these other surprises that Shotzi was mentioning. I mean, you can't have a fifth or sixth teammate. You can't have anybody else come down. At least I don't think so. So maybe she's got some spot in mind she wants to do, a special weapon. I mean, she's supposed to be building a new tank, I guess you can say. So maybe it has something to do with that. But with that, guys, that was NXT this week, the go-home show for NXT TakeOver War Games. And speaking of War Games, speaking of NXT War Games this coming Sunday, we do have how many matches announced? 6 matches announced for the show, and I'm going to give you my predictions for those 6 matches. First off, we do know that Timothy Thatcher will be taking on Tommaso Ciampa. And, I mean, not much to this. They're building up Ciampa. I say Ciampa picks up the victory. Next up in a strap match, Dexter Lumis will be taking on Cameron Grimes. I think it's pretty obvious Dexter Lumis is going to pick up the victory. With the NXT North American Championship on the line in a triple threat match, Leon Ruff will be defending against Cameron Grimes and Damian Priest. And this one's a hard one to predict, because I can see them wanting to legitimize Leon Ruff and have him win somehow. Yeah, he's probably going to get a screwy win, but I can see him winning. But I can see any of these guys winning, to be 100% completely honest. So I'm going to just say, and I'm probably wrong with anything I say, Leon Ruff defends. I don't know. This one's one of the harder matches I've predicted in a while since doing these predictions and stuff. Next up, we have 2 War Games matches. The first one sees the men, Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Bobby Fish will be taking on the team of Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan. Another match that's hard to predict. Both of these War Games matches are hard to predict. But this one, I'm going to go the heels. I say Pat McAfee's team wins. And then we move on to the women's War Games match. Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai taking on Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Toni Storm. And this one I'm going to say Team Shotzi, the baby faces. That's why I said the heels in the other one, because it's WWE. And they're not going to have 2 heel teams or 2 babyface teams win. And if I think Team Shotzi's win in the women's match, that's why I go Team Pat McAfee in the other match. But with that, I'm going Shotzi Blackheart's team winning War Games on the women's side of things. But with that, those are my predictions for NXT TakeOver War Games. I don't think any more matches are going to be announced. So, yeah, 5 matches. Good lineup as far as the matches do go for TakeOver. But with it, that's also going to do it for our NXT review here tonight. Remember, follow us on YouTube right here, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And on YouTube, on Twitter at PW Unlimited. Remember, we will be back with a live review of SmackDown Friday night. So we'll see you guys then. Have a good one.